you to look at this video. It's about 2 minutes long, but take a look at the guy. I couldn't stop watching this. I'm not sure where this video's from or who these strange men are, but that man on the couch, he keeps trying to put on his shirt. As you can see, he's having trouble, but he keeps trying to put on that shirt. And yet, no luck. Now, I may be wrong. I've been watching this a lot. It might not be a shirt. It appears that it could be a pair of sweat bottoms. I think it's a pair of sweatpants that he's trying to put on his head. But here's the thing, he doesn't give up. He keeps trying to put it over his head, even though it won't go down. You know, he kind of reminds me of the Democratic Party. And their goofy crew. How is that? How is that for a transition, huh? I just wanted to use the video. The Democrat candidates, they're all panderers, twisting and turning to appease the consensus media that demands you follow the script. Embrace socialism, cow to identity politics, punish the successful. Watch them go.
We need to have Medicare for all.
For people out there who like their insurance, they don't get to keep it?
Let's eliminate all of that. Let's move on.
I should be paying more taxes, and people who make this kind of revenue and of means should pay more taxes.
Staying in the International Climate Change Agreement. I announced yesterday I would do that on day one.
Would you commit to choosing a woman as your vice presidential running mate?
I think that you will rarely see a Democratic ticket anymore without gender diversity, race diversity. I think it's something that we should have. So I'm not going to box myself in, but should I become it, you know I'll be looking to women first.
Now, everybody's got their virtue signal, trying to say the right thing, even if it's completely wrong. It's getting hard for the left to keep up. Right, Dawn and April?
When you see her blackness, but she is also South Asian. Her mom is South Asian, and her dad is Jamaican.
April, Latino people are people of color, but they're not black. They're brown people.
She is a woman of color, but she is a black woman.
Okay, that's fine. I agree with that. I agree with that. But is she African American? No. But is she African American? There's a difference. There's nothing wrong with that. No one is trying to take anything away from her.
Let's go down into her lineage.
I think you're falling into a trap of that. All she had to do was say, "I am black, but I'm not African American."
I love the two guys in the middle. Now, compare all this stuff to the guy currently in the Oval Office. He just doesn't give a.
You do love your dogs, don't you? I wouldn't mind having one, honestly, but I don't have any time. How would I look walking a dog on the White House lawn? Would that be... Feels a little phony to me.
Think about that for a second. Trump knows that America loves its dogs almost too much. And he's like, yeah, so what? Seems phony. To him, animals are for riding or eating or riding and then eating. But this is who he is. It's not new.
We got more money. We got more brains. We got better houses, apartments. We got nicer boats. We are a hot, hot country. I'm president, and they're not. Rush Limbaugh, I think he's a great guy. He's like, I can speak for 3 hours without a phone call. Try doing that sometime. For 3 hours he speaks. I am asking them to give you the Nobel Peace Prize. I said, thank you. Many other people feel that way, too. I'll probably never get it, but that's okay. They gave it to Obama. He didn't even know what he got it for. He was there for about 15 seconds, and he got the Nobel Prize. There is nothing better than a good old-fashioned German Shepherd.
No idea what that means. But Trump broke new ground by being elected. People see President Obama as the first black president. Everyone thought Hillary would be the first female president. But Trump's the first us president, meaning he's kind of you and he's kind of me. He's not a politician. He's us. And for that reason, he's seen as a jerk by the others who aren't us. Because anyone who stands outside the consensus is considered a jerk. Anyone who believes in order, rules, borders, cause and effect, science, we're all jerks now. Anyone who believes in punishment, in profit, in competition, companies, we're jerks. Jerks get stuff done, and then stuff gets done to them. Hence all the tell-alls about Trump. jerks make great subjects. The latest one now by Andrew McCabe has him admitting to launching a probe into the president. Why? Because Trump's different. He's no boring civil servant in pleated khakis quietly weeping to Dave Matthews in his slightly used Toyota that stinks of hand lotion. No, he's the orange skunk at the garden party, piercing the elitist bubble. So McCabe thought there's no way America could have voted for this jerk. This has to be the work of the Russians. No, it was the work of Americans who wanted someone like him. You know, a billionaire. Clapping for a billionaire. All right. Or what the haters call jerks. Trump really is the Rosa Parks of jerks. He's opening the door for future political candidates who refuse to do the same old crap, like getting a dog or kissing a baby or reading to children. I hate all that stuff. Which means I could probably never be president until now. Trump has shown you that you can win without the phony BS. Trump's your rich uncle who couldn't give a crap. The Dems are the opposite, sanctimonious grad students lecturing you on evil capitalism as a trust fund pays for their weed. But political fakery exists because we expect it. We know it's phony, but we pretend it's real. I would say it's like pro wrestling, but Tyrus would crush me like a ladybug between his thumb and index finger. Yes. It's real. And the media plays along, turning every issue into a phony game of team sports with just two sides. But on the outside of all of this are jerks. Every day society becomes more intolerant of them. Anyone who isn't part of the universal consensus is doomed. So among the Dems, so far, it's the usual pander bears who speak out of both sides of their mouths, revealing a spine as flexible as the elastic around Michael Moore's sweatpants. They should change the name of their party.
Hi, you know us.
We're the desperate party of America.
We'll do whatever it takes to get elected. Like saying whatever you want to hear, so you feel comforted that we're just like you.
I believe solar panels are the key to our future, which is why we promised to use them to expand fracking all across the country.
For years, I arrested people for doing drugs. Now I do drugs.
Have I ever smoked weed? Nah. Back then, it was called crack.
When it comes to legalization, we need to respect states' rights. Except when it comes to babies. Screw their rights.
I believe we should tax the super wealthy. Unless they're the super wealthy who hate Trump. You guys are good.
Walls don't work and are immoral. To hear more, come to my private fundraiser at the Hyatt Ballroom. Just present your ID at security at the wall gate in front.
Border security is the most important thing, which is why we'll provide slingshots for all Americans. Possibly a boomerang if the budget allows.
But the most important thing about the desperate party?
Your health care will be free.
Your dry cleaning will be free.
Arson will be free.
Everything will be free. Except for porn. We're gonna tax the out of it.
Tonight's guest, he's the best thing to come from Canada since geese. Author, political commentator, and host of The Mark Steyn Show, Mark Steyn. She's so sharp, water balloons send her hate mail. The Globe and Mail scientist columnist, Dr. Deborah So. All she wanted for Valentine's Day was lower taxes and a permit to carry. Host of the Tyrus and Timpf podcast, Kat Timpf. He knows the street better than Google Maps. Former WWE superstar, my massive sidekick, host of NPC on Fox Nation, Tyrus. All right. So, Mark, what do you make of the field of candidates so far? Pretty exciting, huh?
Yeah. I like Kamala Harris with her smoking marijuana and hearing Tupac and Snoop Dogg.
Right.
And then they found out when she was in college smoking marijuana, this was 6 years before either of them had released a record. And I know you know all about this, because they always say, like, marijuana is a gateway drug. I hadn't realized it was like the gateway to the time-space continuum. And so after she said this, I smoked marijuana, and I heard Tupac's 2022 comeback album.
Oh, wow.
And then I smoked too much, and I heard your 2037 Christmas album, where you do a really sort of frankly creepy version of Santa Baby, and And so I've gone off Kamala Harris since I'm back on Elizabeth Warren now.
She lied about smoking weed to sound cool, which is totally normal if you are a 15-year-old boy. Like, what's next? Is she going to be like, I know where we can get some fake IDs. My parents are out of town this weekend. I'm going to throw a party. I mean, I wish she would stop pretending to be progressive on the drug legalization issue. In 2014, a reporter asked her about legalizing recreational marijuana. She laughed. She didn't even change her mind until last year, which is pretty late in the game. It's like, so now she's just pretending she smoked weed? Come on, bro. What are you doing?
You know, though, I will give her credit. She does say that she defended pot recreationally, which most politicians don't do. She said it brings joy, which I thought was actually a nice departure for a politician. But what am I doing complimenting her? This is Fox. We're going to have to edit all of that out.
No,
all right.
she did it. She did it, by the way, because she said, oh, half my family's Jamaican, which is the kind of stereotyping that nobody else could be able to get away with.
Interesting point. Yeah. All right, Doctor, welcome to the show. What do you make of the candidates so far? You're a neuroscientist.
I'm a neuroscientist, yes, but I can talk about this issue. When I look at them, it's kind of like a grab bag, but it made me think of a boy band. Because in a boy band, you have the different personas. You know, you have the really sweet, sensitive one.
Yes.
You have the edgy bad boy. In this case, you've got, you know, the pro-legalization one. You've got the male feminist.
Yes.
You've got the female person of color, even though she's only 1,000th Native American on a good day.
Yes.
And then you've got the one, well, a couple of them are pro-socialism. So, you know, it's kind of ridiculous. I'm a liberal, but when I look at this, I think it's pretty ridiculous how they're all trying to outdo each other.
Right.
At the same time, I think, you know, if people are really set on going up against Trump, they're going to vote for them anyway.
Yeah. Edit out that part where she says she's a liberal. Thank you. Tyrus, what do you make so far? It's beginning to be kind of exciting, isn't it?
Like paint peeling, yeah. There's nothing more than uncool people telling you how cool I am. Here's a little, if you have to tell somebody you're cool, you're not cool. Like, every time I see Cory Booker, and I honestly wish the brother well, I really do. He is the most uncoolest dude trying to convince you that he's cool. Yeah. Like, Maddow put him in a thing like, will your running mate be a woman? Well, I don't want to be in that box, but if I was gonna, definitely would be one of my, no, I'm gonna take the best person, get off me, girl. Yeah. That would have been the right thing to say. Yeah. But he didn't know what to say. That's what you say if you're cool. Yeah. And if Kamala smoked, she really did, when they asked her the question, she'd be like, that's a great question. What?
Yeah.
Then we would have been like,
did that, I would vote
Kamala's
for her.
cool.
Yeah.
She smoked on national TV. What? But they'll say, yeah, I smoke. I'm hip. I know the Macarena. Like, they...
I love that clip you showed where they're arguing about whether she's black or brown or a little bit black, a little bit brown. We don't quite know how to categorize her. And under the laws of identity politics, these are more complicated now than the Nuremberg
I'm
laws.
actually, to cut you off, as someone who's... I'm actually think that's amazing. Because... It didn't used to be that way, but get your black ass in there. Oh, sorry, sir. You said black. My mother's family secret was Dutch. Can I go? Hell no. Get your yellow black ass in that room. So I think we've come a long way. It's actually, I'm glad now we're breaking it down. Oh, black Jamaican, you may go.
I personally, as a person of color, I think it's racist to be so obsessed with someone's background. Who cares at the end of the day, you know?
It's true. I think. Did I tell you she's a neuroscientist, huh?